Philosophy enthusiasts once again gathered at the Macmillan Memorial Library on February 26 for the monthly discussion hosted by the Kenya Institute of Social Sophists. The session, facilitated by Kelvin Kamau, explored the questions: liberty, are we free, or are we just good at choosing our own cages? The discussion examined how the idea of freedom has evolved across civilizations and philosophical traditions. Participants reflected on ancient understandings of liberty, from the Roman concept of libertas, meaning freedom from domination, to the Greek idea of political participation and spiritual liberation concept found in Asian
It
traditions.
doesn't then also contradict my theory to an extent that those who take power, they have a mandate, they have a responsibility to the majority who don't have that power. Once they fail to meet this obligation, that's when the revolt comes, regardless of how organized they may be.
I think my question to you, Blair, is since that colonization, how far have we come to achieve what you're calling those three things, so that people can revolt? As much as colonization at that time, they were coming together to go against people who are colonizing them. At the moment, I also don't feel like there's any government in ourselves as we're speaking, since we got our own liberty, as we're speaking about our landmark. And the third one of nation, which is life, property. Yeah, life, property, and liberty. As much as the governments you've had so far, there's none that has really protected that to the stature that you can say that we are actually achieving anything. Westernization is still there. If at all land, I can tell you that it's nowhere close to achieving whatever you're thinking about land, the liberty part.
The conversation then turned to the views of influential philosophers. Thinkers such as Thomas Hobbes argued that liberty simply means the absence of physical barriers preventing action. In contrast, Jean Jacques Rousseau suggested that people are born free but often live under social constraints, while John Stuart Mill emphasized the importance of protecting individuals from the tyranny of the majority. Participants also examined the distinction between negative liberty, which is freedom from interference, and positive liberty, which is the ability to control one's own lives and decisions. The concept was famously articulated by political philosopher Isaiah Berlin, who warned that attempts to impose a single version of freedom could lead to oppression.
Just randomly, do you think Nora was free in that relationship? You can either apply your modern day feminist sense, or you can put yourself, it's set in 1700s, so you can either do so. Randomly too, do you think Nora was free? She wasn't.
The discussion further explored the idea of liberty as non domination, a perspective developed by scholars like Quentin Skinner and Philip Pettit. According to this view, a person may appear free but still live under the shadow of power if someone else holds the ability to control their choices. Modern challenges to freedom were also highlighted. Participants considered how digital surveillance, algorithmic decision making, and economic dependency can subtly shape behavior and limit autonomy, even in societies that guarantee formal rights. The session concluded by reflecting on what genuine liberty requires: strong democratic institutions, material resources that allow individuals to live with dignity, and a culture that encourages critical thinking and courage. The Kenya Institute of Social Sophists holds these philosophical conversations every last Friday of the month, creating a space for public dialogue on ideas that shape societies. The next discussion, titled "Who Should Be the Custodians of Society?" will happen on the 27th of March. As the evening's discussion suggested, the question of freedom remains open. Are we truly free, or simply becoming better at choosing the cages we live in?